All right.
All right, hey everybody, Drew Griffin here, hanging out with David Calafiore and so many of our esteemed colleagues, friends, and agency founders for Sendpush. And today we've got something pretty cool, right? We're gonna, not keep you too long today. Our goal is to be in and out of here in about under an hour. Save some room at the end for some Q&A, obviously, and we'll go over our agenda and all that kind of stuff. But we have something pretty cool lined up for you today that will help many of you kind of conceptualize and if you haven't already, like what this is all about. Um, so we'll dig into this. Not a lot of slides here in the initial uh, portion of this, but we're going to jump in and kind of talk about that right now. So let's jump in. Um, we come bearing gifts, guys, and we're gonna share this gift. And you're kind of like us, you may probably know that about us is that, we're always kind of throwing some surprises and little tools and trips and tricks and all kinds of stuff along the way. We'll share that after we go over the agenda for the next two sessions. And speaking of sessions, let's kind of talk about what we're going to be covering in the first part of this session, and then obviously what we'll be covering in the next one as well. So, thing number one today, we're going to do a full walkthrough of Sendpush, as if we haven't already done so. We want to do it again here inside this boot camp, and maybe answer some questions along the way, if that makes sense, and maybe save some room at the end for a comprehensive Q&A as well. Tomorrow, we're going to go over a simple sales and prospecting strategy and multiple strategies. We've given you a bunch of prospecting strategies in advance. If you haven't received that, we'll kind of jump into, we will jump into the learning module area where David has put a bunch of content together, as well as some assets and some things that will help you come up with some ideas and some strategies of how you can start approaching local businesses. We've included like 25 of those offline strategies. Some of them are kind of crossover ish, right? You might be seeing me dropping some of those videos one by one, talking about those strategies inside our school group right here, right? So keep an eye on that. Sometimes I'll be dropping videos on a day-to-day basis, talking about how I'm deploying them and how you could deploy them, and um, scenarios and strategies and things like that. And we'll be talking about some online ones as well. So I think we gave you like 25 in the first set, 22 in the second set. Guys, you really only need one or two of these, and we'll be talking about that specifically to make it really, really simple, uh, to help you get through the front door of people and into their inboxes talking about these types of strategies. I'll just preface it by saying, just create the passes, right? Just create passes and start showing people like it's show and tell. If you've ever come across a cool little tool, right, or a cool little toy, or you had a toy back when you were much younger, or maybe you're buying toys as adults now, like the thing that you want to really do is just like, hey, check this out. I mean, David does it to me every day. He's like, hey man, check this thing out I came across. Like, it's a new little
Sorry,
tool.
Drew. I'm sorry.
It's an affliction for both of us. He's like, man, check this out. Check this out. And like, I'm trying to get stuff done. He's like, check out this AI tool. Check out this check this, look what these guys are doing over here. And I love it, right? Like I'm addicted to it. And that's the kind of stuff I think all of this, there's an element of bright, shiny objects that we all are guilty of. Like, give me a number one in chat. I think we have chat here. If you're guilty of bright, shiny object syndrome,
I
right?
found what works for me is I just dedicate like a half hour out of every day just to take a look around at different things, check out a new tool. But then after that half hour is over, Drew, I
Yep.
just put that stuff out of my mind. I concentrate and focus on what I'm doing, what I've got going on within my business. I think it's really great to keep a pulse to what's new, what's awesome, what's coming out. But you've got to stay focused. And with that, I will say, it's been great thus far to see people taking action already. There's people who have closed deals. There's people out, showing this to business owners. And I will say there probably will be three types of people who've joined us with Sendpush. There'll be those who actively just go take action and start selling, right? They actually generate revenue from this. There will be those who just tinker. They're just playing around with the software constantly, testing it constantly, and never really get out and sell. And then there's those who just never log in and do anything. So you want to be that first group of people, right? Who are, you just dig in, learn the software quickly. It's really not much to it. It's pretty straightforward. And then you got to get out and start selling. That is the only thing that's going to generate revenue for you, is getting out and talking to business owners, showing this to them, and explaining the benefits to being able to communicate with your customer base.
Yeah, so let's pause there for just a moment and self-identify. Identify yourselves inside of chat. We're here, we're friends, we're colleagues. If you feel a little bit uncomfortable, that's okay. I want everybody to identify where you are in this, and that will probably give you some self-reflection as to how your business is actually doing. Are you a number one, somebody that gets in,
Yep.
understands conceptually?
Elias posted about a meeting that he had yesterday. That's awesome. Owen sold his first deal on the webinar. Action taker. I love that.
Yeah. So are you one? Are you doing what Elias and Owen have done? Are you getting out there meeting with people? You get the concept of, spend a little bit of time, maybe a day or two, or maybe a week for those of us
Yep.
who are a little bit slower. Are you number two, where you're just going to stay in that perpetual tinkering stage and will never talk to anybody? Maybe that's a good self-reflection to understand why you're not generating as much revenue as you should be. And number three, you never log into the platform ever, because we see it. We see when people are logging in. We
We
see
track
what you're
everything.
doing.
We track
You know,
everything.
the
Yeah.
last time you logged in, the last pass you created, like, are you actually active using those? You'd be stunned
Yep.
how many people never log into a platform.
It's interesting. We have people hammering us with feature requests. And when I get a feature request, I go and look, like, when's the last time that person logged in? Have they created anything in their account? And oftentimes the people who are hammering us with the feature requests are people who've never even logged in, Drew.
Yeah, never used the thing, never logged
Yeah.
anything. And that's great. I mean, we appreciate the feature requests. We truly and gratefully appreciate, we're
Yeah.
humbled by the attention and the desire to see where this is going. And we do, we've applied a lot of features to past platforms, and, we've got some things in the works for this one as well.
Yep.
But what really inspires us, and what really should inspire you, is to move the needle in the direction of the sales. And this is a reason why we made this really dead simple to use. Um, so
Nice
thing
job,
number three,
Sandy.
we'll be talking about, is comprehensive Q&A. So we'll try to answer some questions along the way. It's probably best to group them for the end. And this is a little bit of a different thing. So I'm going to ask you, if you do have a question, to put QQQ in the chat. I'm not really looking at the chat because I'm looking at my slides right now. This is set up a little bit differently than a webinar platform. But if you do have a burning question and we don't get to it right away, simply ask it again, or put QQQ in it, so we make sure that we answer all and any of your questions. So with that said, let's get into this. Right before we really jump back into Sendpush, we've got a surprise bonus for all of you. It's a dopamine hit for everybody, but I think it's truly going to be helpful for those of you trying to conceptualize how to kind of promote and sell this and get your brains wrapped around what you actually have your hands on. And before we show you this, I would greatly appreciate if you put it in the chat. How are you feeling about this? Is this still exciting? Because this is almost a trick question, right? Are you like over it already and on and ready for the next thing? Are you ready for, the 15,000 emails that you'll be receiving from people later today about their launch today and tomorrow and so on and so forth? Or are you excited about, sending emails and DMs and, connecting with people? David was pissed at me yesterday, rightfully so. but I was busy. I was connecting with a couple of local restaurants, a pizza place, a brand new I forget what they call it, gastro pub or something that's in town, and another one across town, and all three of them are super eager to get this VIP pass that they can, like, they didn't 100% of them did not want to make offers. Is that crazy? Like, they didn't want to, like, make coupons and discounts, and like they instantly got, wait, this allows me to mass communicate with everybody about our specials, about
Yeah.
our events, about our opening hours, or we're closing early or something like that, about who's playing this Thursday night, that sort of thing. 100% on board, and they snickered at the cost. Snickered. I'm like, fuck, pardon my language, guys. I've got some stuff going on in my brain too, but like, I probably should have charged more. $1,500 a pop yesterday. Like, they're all in agreement. Did they pay yet? No, I just wasn't able to get into those places simply because I ran out of time, and there's a little bit of distance between the different places. If I had a little bit of extra time, would have totally been able to collect the cash yesterday. So I'm nobody special. I'm just like, hey man, check this out. This allows you to communicate with your people. It resides on iPhones and Android devices. And they're like, oh, like coupons, and we're not set up for point of. They're telling me this, that we don't even have point of sale. They have a cash register. That's it, right? That's it. Most of them were collecting cash. They prefer cash, so they didn't even
Yeah.
have a point of sale system. They're not interested in any of that kind of stuff.
Simple, simple,
So
simple. Keep it simple.
simple.
That's the key. Yeah. Tyler's asking, before I lose the question here, I want to use this as tickets for a live event. So Tyler, there's really no way in Sendpush that you can do ticketing. But what I would recommend is that for people who are attending the event, you can get them to actually install the pass for event attendees, and then you can send event updates and information about the event through the send push system. All right, Drew,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah, so what David actually put together for you is what you're seeing on your screen right now. And I think we'd like to share it with you. David, you want to share your screen? And what you're seeing here is a custom GPT that David put
Yeah.
together. And um,
Is that
I think
just
the
an
best
image,
way to,
or is that a slide, or do you have it up?
that's just a slide. That's just a
Oh,
slide.
okay. Sure, sure, sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can share my screen. Give me
awesome.
one sec here. Trying to. There we go. All right. Let me know when that's up.
You're good.
Awesome. So what we did was we created a custom GPT for all of you to help you create marketing content for your version of SendPush or your Wallet Pass service. And this thing is trained on SendPush and what it does and use cases and all the stuff, and it should pretty easily help you, create content like blog posts, social posts, long form social posts, advertorials, playbooks, things like that, very easily. So you just hit the get started button. We'll get you the link to this in a minute. And it'll just run you through some questions. So welcome to the SendPush Agency Growth Kit. I'm here to help you create powerful marketing materials to sell your new Wallet Pass service. To get started, I just need a couple of details. What's the name of your Wallet Pass service? Because what this will do is replace SendPush with the name of whatever you're going to call your service. What kind of marketing materials would you like to create? We can do blog posts, social media posts, advertorials, client playbooks. Um, for which type of local business are we creating this? So do you have a specific industry or niche in mind? So we'll just, hey there, the name of my service is called Push Pass. All right, so let me fill in the rest of these details. Um, I'm looking for a blog post that would help explain to pizza places how our push pass technology can benefit them. go. Look at that, Drew.
That should keep them busy.
Yeah. And then just to show you too, like if you want to, let me just get up here to the top. Ah, there we go. What you can do is just basically outline this. Actually, it's not working. Here we go. You can take all of this. A little buggy there. But you can actually, before you create a piece of content, if you turn on our Canvas tool, now turn this into a social long form social post. So I have my Canvas tool turned on, and what this allows you to do is actually work with the content right here within the GPT. So overall, this can help you create all sorts of marketing content, blog posts, social posts, advertorials, playbooks, all sorts of stuff for whatever, your version of Sendpush is going to be called. So now it's added it to the canvas here. You can work with it, you can edit it, and then when you're set, you can either just copy it all or download it and use it and be ready to go, Drew.
That's remarkable. That should keep you busy. Like if you're really doing a lot of stuff online and prefer to do stuff online, this is just going to give you so much stuff. In addition to all the different assets that we've given you, the sales scripts, all that other kind of stuff, you can ideate and create all kinds of things right here with this custom GPT. Um, we're taking it to the next level. We've got some shareable images and all kinds of stuff lined up for you, um, like silhouettes of iPhones and Android devices with push notification samples. Like if you're going after restaurants and want to have very specific messaging for those restaurants, we're going to have those images. You can change the color of the background. You can add your own logos directly to the push notification samples that we're going to have hundreds of these things, both in Facebook image sizes, square images for Instagram. We're going to have social sizes as well. I mean, story sizes as well for both Instagram, Facebook, and even TikTok if you wanted to do voiceovers on things like that. So, what do you think? What do you guys think about that? Give us a number 4 in chat, right? If you
And I
think
put a
this
link
is the
I put a link to that in the chat. We'll add that to um, the learning area at some point today. And also, if you're an Ask Spot user, I can also just give you the template share link for that.
Yeah. You guys will love that. I mean, if you're an AskSpot user, we'll give you that share link. If you're interested in AskSpot, hit us up in support and we'll give you the once over or connect you with Kim to consider that platform, consider our other platform as well. And by the way, that very thing that's on the back, if you imagine building a Canvas style custom chatbot like that, right? An AI tool, an assistant like that, that you can put on the back of the pass, right? Like in the back of the pass, you've got a link, right? Imagine linking out to something like that. That's super helpful, right? This is a canvas, it's a marketing tool. Imagine creating one of those that's a private pass for their staff, right? An easy way to get back to the tool as opposed to remembering a really long ass link like that is have them install the pass on the back on their iPhone or for their marketing department, click on the back of it and just ideate with this messaging. I want to give a shout out to Sandy, who got her first pass designed and put out there, looked great. And she included one of our other tools called Lead Bubble on the back of her pass. I don't know if you can drop that link in here, Sandy, for everybody to see and download that pass to those devices. You'll love it, right? She's included a lead bubble link on the back of her pass where the bubble opens up after somebody clicks on it on the back of the pass, and she's got a welcoming message on the back of that pass. So don't be afraid to kind of mix and match and mix it up, right? I love how people are starting to be really creative with how they're using these passes to connect to other tools or send traffic to very particular websites. More news on that later, but like what David just put in front of you should give you pretty much everything that you need to truly market your version, your white label version of Sendpush, um, on behalf of yourself, and get in front of ideal customers that you want to go after. Like, not everybody wants to work with restaurants. Some people want to go after comedy clubs. Some people want to go after massage therapists, et cetera, et cetera. Food trucks. I think Owen
Food
is
trucks are great. Like that,
food
as
trucks.
soon as I heard that, I was like, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, there you go. Let's continue here. Let's go through the platform once. We only have about 40 minutes or so, guys. If you have any burning questions, I'll man the chat here as David jumps into the platform and gives everybody a once over on the platform. If you happen to have burning questions, we're working on the platform right now to make some modifications, optimizing some things. So if you see that it's a little bit testy, don't worry about it. We're working on things in the background to optimize things and make it a little bit more user friendly. So, with that said, let's jump out and show everybody the platform.
Cool. Let me know when that screen's up for you, buddy.
You're good. You're good.
Cool. All right. All right. So yeah, we're just going to do a general walkthrough, kind of like what we did on the webinar, but we'll just go through it again. Again, there's not a, it's pretty simplistic overall. As Drew said too, we are, our dev team is actively making some updates and changes. There's some things with the scheduling of notifications that have been a little bit buggy. There's some things that have popped up that we just couldn't anticipate until people started using the platform. And there's a bunch of people like scheduling posts, which is causing some congestion in the back end that we're trying to work through. And you guys could just mute mics there. Okay, we're good. So just know that we're working on the scheduling system. It might be a little bit buggy for the next day or two, just so you know. So let's go through it. First thing is to kind of show you, where things are here in the dashboard. Number one, workspaces. A workspace is kind of like its own unique project folder. It could be for a specific business you're working with. It could be for a specific project you're working on. Whatever it happens to be for you, a workspace is its kind of own individual area that has its own passes and its own analytics. Okay. So it does lend itself well to working with a client because the passes within that workspace are separate from other workspace spaces, and so are the analytics. They're unique to that particular workspace. So how do you create a new workspace? You come down here into the lower left-hand corner, click where your name is, and click Manage Workspaces. From here, you can just click to create a new workspace, give it a name, an optional description if you want, hit create, and it will actually create that workspace for you. How do you navigate between workspaces? You just come again to that lower left-hand corner where your name is, click on switch workspaces, and then you can select, the workspace that you want to be in, right? So this is a different workspace. I'm going to go back here to my Common Ground VIP club, and now I'm in that workspace. Okay, pretty simple and straightforward. So that is where you can create a workspace and where you can switch in and out of different workspaces. In a moment or a little bit, we'll go through the process of sharing a workspace. Okay, so that is where that is. If you need help, if you need how to learn the platform, if you need to send in a support ticket, you can do that by clicking here, Help and Learn, in the left-hand menu bar. It's going to take you to this page. We have a full-fledged learning portal. We're actively adding more content here every day. To get started here in the early days, if you go to the training center, this is where there's a bunch of training courses. Whoops, let me go back. Start here with Sendpush 101. It's a great place to start. Probably take you about 20 minutes to a half hour to go through, and it will just take you through all the different aspects of the platform. Some of the bonuses that we'd included: the past and advanced strategies, comprehensive sales scripts and strategies, setting up your white label landing page. The replays for the call that we're on right now will be added here, and this will become unlocked. And then in October, we'll be doing the community lock screen takeover training. That'll be a live training, and also the chamber event secrets. And we're also, most of you guys have access to our local newsletter accelerator that we'll be doing live at the, we're doing end of October. Drew, I forget what we
Yes,
decided
end
on
of
that.
October. End of
And we have,
October. For that.
yeah, we'll have, exact dates and times coming for these very soon. So we'll obviously let you know about that, right? Most likely would be added to the calendar here in the school group, right? Oops, let me just let somebody in here. There you go, Don. So the calendar here in the school group will have the links and dates and times for those live trainings. Let's go back. Knowledge base, we'll be adding, knowledge base articles as the platform progresses and grows. For right now, we have the basics here, basic articles on kind of the basics of the platform. One question we're getting a lot of questions on is how to connect a custom domain. We do have a detailed knowledge base article here for that with a video. I would recommend starting here if you're confused or need help with connecting your custom domain. All right. And if you need help past that,
Hey, David, one second.
sure.
There's some folks who are saying they're not seeing your screen. Said
Um,
the screen froze. Guys, if you a couple things. If the screen is frozen temporarily, I mean, he's talking, he's not really doing anything on the screen just yet. But if it seems frozen to you, it's probably the platform. Just leave and
well,
come back in if you can.
here I'll
David's gonna
stop
reshare.
sharing and share again. Apologies.
And
Um,
also, if it screen is seeing, if it's showing that it's kind of smaller, if you hover over the screen itself in the top left-hand corner, you'll
there
see
you
an
go.
ellipses. Go
That
ahead
might
and
have been
click
my
on.
fault, Drew, because I think I was sharing a tab and I had switched tabs. So my
That's all right.
apologies.
That's all right.
I'm still learning,
And also, if you want it to be a little bit larger, I know it's a personal problem, but in the top left-hand corner on your screen right now, there is an ellipses. Take your cursor, put it over the screen. In the top left-hand corner, there's an ellipses. Click on that. It'll say enter full screen. Click on enter full screen, and it will be significantly larger. It'll take it over
Yeah.
your entire screen.
All right. So many of you may have not seen when I switched tabs here, and I apologize about that. I was showing you the training center, which is here, Sendpush 101. These are some of the bonuses you have access to: past and advanced strategies, the comprehensive sales scripts and strategies, how to set up your white label landing page, the calls for what we're on right now. The replays will be added here, Sendpush Agency Bootcamp, and then the community lock screen takeover and chamber event secrets will be added here, obviously, after we go through those live training cohorts. And then I also had showed where you'll be able to find the dates and times for those live events here on the calendar inside the school group. So I think if you're here, you're obviously in the school group, but the calendar is going to be a useful feature for you inside that community. The knowledge base I showed you here, some basic knowledge base articles that we have in here already. We'll be adding to this in the very near future. I said we did have a lot of questions about custom domains. We do have a detailed knowledge base article for that with a video that kind of takes you through the process. And then if you need help above and beyond that, if you're stuck on something, don't post technical support questions in the community because, honestly, I'm not looking there for a lot of, most parts of the day. I do my best to actually stay out and get the work done that I need to get done during the day. I pop in occasionally, but our support desk, we monitor 24/7. So if you have an issue, a question that you need to get answered, use the support desk. And all you got to do is click here on submit ticket, fill the form out. That goes to our support desk. You can also just email support@sendpush.io. That goes to the same place. Okay. Can you just put a one in the chat if you've got that? Really important because we want to make sure that you get help. We want to make sure that you get the answers to your questions. And the fastest, most efficient way to get that done is to use our support desk.
Yeah, a
Okay.
bunch of ones coming in, David.
Good. All right. Um, we've added some templates here too, which are pretty awesome. They're called pass kits, and we'll be adding more of these, but we've added a bunch already. And these are just, templates that you can use to kind of get you going. If you have a business that's, in a, pizza shop or a massage therapist or a law for, you can use these. Just click here. And then these are Canva templates. So there's banners, retractable banner templates, flyers, business card templates, tabletop tent templates. You kind of open it and then you can click here and you can edit these, you can make them your own, but we'll be
Yeah.
adding more and more of these over time. What's that, Drew?
Yeah, some of these pass kits may not really entirely make sense for a VIP club. Like, I mean, who's joining a VIP club for a dentist? I don't know. We wanted to give you something to get started with, but you know, some dentists might want to send out push notifications with, you know, oral mouth care tips, right? Or during the soccer season, hey parents, make sure that you get your kids fitted for a mouth guard properly. You know, that sort of stuff, right? Where you're
Mhm.
just being an extra little tip above and beyond getting your cavities or, filled or, that kind of stuff. I have no idea. I probably would not be approaching dentists just to be fully transparent, but we've got a bunch of templates. And if you guys can come up with something that might not, come to our mind and how you might approach a particular business, we don't have all the answers when it comes to, how somebody may want to participate. However, some of those people might just be good candidates for a community pass where they take over the pass temporarily and say, hey, today we're featuring ROG, um, orthodontics, right? That's actually an orthodontist that I use for my kids. And they might have a tip or a trick like, hey, you might want to get checked out for wisdom teeth or something like that ahead of senior portraits for the high schoolers, right? They take over the pass for the day as a sponsorship. We'll get into that strategy a little bit later. But some of these types of things, these pass kits and stuff may or may not make entire sense, but we're going to fill it with as many things that we can to at least get you to start to think about some of these things. And I think Dara did something already. Like she took one of our templates and created her own version of that for a particular restaurant. Fantastic. She's really, really talented in coming up with marketing collateral. Like you might want to create a collage of these things when you're going in through the front door and say, okay, we're going to take this template, put it onto a 9x5 flyer to help your customers and clients start to think about this, right? Like,
Mhm.
here's, I'll give you these templates. Here's some ideas, and you work with that client to dial this. They may already have a design team that's working with them, and they just hand this off and say, hey, create versions of this for us so we can start to work on this marketing initiative with this VIP pass. That's what this is designed for. And if you've got ideas and you're really talented with Canva, it gets you 90% of the way there, right? That's what these are for.
Yep. 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 Couple other things. If you go to settings, custom domain, if you want to add a custom domain, this is where you do it. Here's the guide. As I said too, we also have the knowledge base article with a video there that will kind of take you through the process. Also know too, sometimes depending on which platform you're connecting your custom domain to, like GoDaddy or Namecheap or whatever it happens to be, sometimes there is an extra step required where you add a .txt file to actually verify your domain. So keep a lookout for that. It depends. Sometimes it's not needed, and then sometimes it is. It will show you that here on the bottom after you add your domain here and hit save if it's needed. Okay. Again, we've got a knowledge base article on that, but this is where you connect your custom domain. So let's start up here. Passes. When you first start using the platform, in order to really do much, you've got to create a pass, right? So click new pass, give it a name, hit continue. It'll create the pass for you. So let's take you through the process really quick here. There's really not too much to it. It's pretty straightforward, and it's meant to be that way. It's meant to be very simple and streamlined. Pass name. This is for your reference here, and then the pass title actually shows on the pass up here. So it says Common Ground VIP, right? So that's the pass information. The top field is up here in the top right-hand corner. Now, also remember, this is totally optional. If you don't want to put something up here, just leave it blank and it will stay blank on the actual pass itself. But you can put some text or context up here if you'd like. All right. The barcode, QR code. I've had a lot of questions about this, Drew.
Yep.
The main function for this is really for kind of sharing or sending somebody to somewhere, a link, a website, a landing page, more so if you're with them in person, right? So for me, I've actually set up a digital business card for myself where the Linktree page that I created that has all my contact information and social links and stuff is linked here to the QR code. So when I'm at a networking event, I can just quickly, open the digital business card on my phone, and I could say, if I'm talking to somebody and I want to share my info with them, I just say, here, scan this. And it opens up the Linktree page right on their phone, and they can add my V card and, or grab my social links, whatever they need to do. That is kind of the scenario for this. It could also be, you could put the share page for the pass. You could put that link here. So, the share page that gets created when you create a pass, you could link to that here. And if you're out and about or somebody who has the pass installed wants to share it with somebody else, they could have somebody scan that and then they could, go to the share page and add that pass to their mobile phone. I'm not looking
David,
at the chat.
while we're here, I think
Sure.
Dan Johnson asked, so is the QR code tappable? It is
It's
not
not.
tappable.
Yeah. Google and Apple do not allow clickable links on the front of these passes. I would love for that to be clickable, right? Put a one in the chat if you'd love for that to be clickable. Absolutely. But unfortunately, Apple and Google make the rules here, and they don't allow, clickable, tappable links on the front of the card.
And this is true for across all passes, whether it's you're using something like Sendpush or credit cards and all that kind of stuff. It's not possible to click on anything on the front of the pass. It just isn't.
Yep. Same goes with the font size. All those things are controlled by Apple and Google. We've got a lot of support tickets. I want to make the font bigger. I want to change the font style. I want to make this bold, that italic. Nope, we can't do it. If I had my choice, I would love to be able to add that. Just not possible. Some things are just out of our control, but that's okay. But what it does do is makes it really simple. You don't even have to worry about it. You just can't do it, so don't worry about it.
Along those
All right?
lines, Dara just asked, so do you have to have a barcode on the front?
No, nope.
No.
You can actually just, if you want to get rid of the barcode, boom.
But here's what I like to do with this, just so everybody knows, and this is maybe like one extra technical step. So this is really designed to help spread the word about this pass. So in the top right hand corner, once you get done setting up the pass, there's a share page. I just typically like to make that QR code the share page URL, right? So it's intuitively going to keep it as the share page. So if somebody scans that QR code, it's going to take them back to the share page. But just to make it abundantly clear, here's an opportunity for every person that has this pass installed on their device to become an unpaid marketer on behalf of whoever the pass originator is, meaning the businesses that you're serving, right? So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, for those of you who are in network marketing, if every person got two, if every person got one, then you become a Ruby or whatever, whatever that saying used to be, right? One gets one. If this idea behind this pass is a VIP pass, and I think Dara said like 20% off of your special or your deal, and you're sitting there with somebody, they might feel left out. Hey, how do I get the 20% off of my meal? Well, you just show them the pass and they scan it, and all of a sudden they get a VIP pass on their phone too. You are now effectively doubling or potentially tripling or even more so by sharing the pass with everybody else. Like, everybody wants to be the star. Hey, have you seen this special? Just download this pass and you get a VIP thing, right? And all of a sudden, that list of people that have that pass on their phone has now doubled or tripled or quadrupled or 10x'd, whatever, right?
Hmm.
That's what you want from this QR code. I know people just don't get the understanding of the QR, because intuitively, there's nothing to do with the QR code. If it's already on your phone, you can't scan it yourself. It doesn't seem to have a function for you as the pass holder, but don't be so selfish,
Yeah.
right? It's for other people. It's for the name. It's for the business. It's for whatever, right? It's just a thing that's there. Get over the QR code, other than it's a marketing tool for you to send them when somebody scans that QR code to something that either the business wants in the form of a download of a pass, or to, like, I even put a link to Rick Astley's Never Gonna Give You Up, just to screw with people, just to Rick roll people from time to time. Like,
Yeah.
whatever you're trying to do, right? Insult my friends. Like, I get very vulgar with my friends, my brothers and stuff like that. And, that's a different story for a different day. We have a lot of fun with these passes. And, you can do stuff like that. Just be a little bit creative with it. And, I know it's hard for people to get over, like, oh, it's not tappable, it's not functional. It is functional. It's completely functional, but it's also meant to be unobtrusive as well.
Yeah. And you know what? The businesses who we're working with could care less. They really, it's flies right over their head. They don't, it's not, it tends to be an issue for the digital marketer who understands all this stuff and really wants that to be clickable. We get it. I would love for it to be clickable too, but it's not. So it is what it is. Now, the next field here are the pass content fields. This is this stuff right here. Okay. Um, you can add up to 3 of these, but known that they're actually in columns. Another thing that we can't control. This is what Apple and Google do for some reason. I wish they were stacked, but they're not. So we just kind of keep it simple. In most cases, we have the one column here, which really just explains check the back of the pass for special offers and events. You know, simple. You can also update this depending on, if you're doing a notification where you can actually alter the design of the pass for a certain period of time. You can alter this with special instructions for something if you need to. But again, I would just kind of keep this area simple and straightforward. But that's the front of the pass. Not much to it, right? Design, you can upload your logo. That shows up here in the upper right-hand corner. Should be like a square type image, 660 by 660, 1000 by 1000, square works best. Cover image, which is this, right? 620 by 246. And we also have a cropping tool built in too. So when you upload an image, if it's not, for example, whatever, just take something here, see how it crops. It'll
Yep.
be the right size. Okay. So 620 by 246. And then the pass colors. So if you want to change the background color to black, change the label color and the value color, boom, there you go. Good to go. All right. Update. Now the back of the pass. This is where it gets good, right? This is where you can actually send people to a website or give them a link to something special or provide more context or information. Okay. Um, so the text fields are these, what you see right here. You can add up to 3 of these, or actually, yeah, 3 for the text fields. So we have coffee club. The display text is what you see here. And then if you add a link here, it becomes hyperlinked. Same thing below. All right. And then on a Google Pass, these link modules are also available. So if you swap over to the Google view here, you can go back and forth and toggle. You'll see that these link modules are available. You can add 2 of them to a card. They're really just like hyperlinked little buttons. So this one says gift cards, this one says beans, right? And you can make these hyperlinked to wherever you want. And Drew, that's it for the front of the pass or the front creating a pass.
Yep.
Is there any questions?
We got a bunch that are coming in. Some of them are
Let's
semantical, but let's
let's
go.
blow through anything that I can answer while we're here, and then we'll move on.
Yeah, if someone has a pass, is there any way to have their information? Do we know who has the pass?
We don't. We're not collecting any information or data. If you want to, you could possibly first collect someone's name and email address, right? Create a little form on a landing page, and then you could redirect them to the pass share page.
Yep. Um,
We specifically want it this way. We don't want to worry about data, collecting data, data storage, all that stuff. Again, simplicity. Simple, simple, simple.
yeah. Dara said, on the back of the pass, we could offer something to join our mailing list.
Sure.
Yep. Totally
Yep, you can
possible.
do that. Yep.
Someone, I think Sandy asked, tried using the share function. Or was it Sandy? I forget. Someone tried the share function feature for pressing send past in Google, but it doesn't seem to be working. That may be a Google issue, but is there something that we can do to change that setting? There's really no way to change the setting just yet. Share
Setting
function.
what
I,
share what the share there's no share function. It's a we have a share page we give you. It's not really
I
a
think
share
after
okay.
after the pass is installed, there's
Uh-huh.
a little up arrow share function.
Oh, that
I
has
think
nothing to
that's
do with us. Yeah,
that's
that's
yeah,
got nothing to do with us.
yep.
Yep. Okay.
Um, I think that's it.
Okay, cool. So that's how you set up a pass, guys. Now, once you set your pass up, the next step is to share the pass to get people to install the pass on their mobile phones. So we, as I said before and showed you, for every time you create a pass, we automatically create what's called a share page for you. So to see that share page, you can click here, copy it, and it looks like this for this particular pass, right? And I'll show you one other thing too. If I go back here, if you want to actually download that barcode from the pass, this our QR code, click here and pass QR code. So if you want to make your own signage or something and you want this QR code, which makes sense, right? You can just download it and then use that in your design or whatever you're building with it. Okay. So that's easy way to just grab that QR code. Um, but if you click here up the top, let me just show you that again. Here it says share page, click on it. And these are the settings and adjustments you can make to the share page. So you can upload the logo, which is up here, right? It could be an image, a logo, someone's face, whatever you want it to be. You can adjust the main heading, which is the right here. You can adjust the subheadline, and then the final one here is the instructions, which is down here. Only thing you can't change are the 2 buttons because those are static and they stay there. So people can either tap to add to their Apple wallet or they can tap to add to their Google wallet. Okay. Can also adjust the SEO settings for the page, meaning the meta title, the description, and favicon. And then the social share settings too. So social title, social description, and you can upload your own um, open graph image here. So if you share this on social platforms, which makes a lot of sense, right? You want to be able to share this around. You get the nice, just title, description, and image. Now, if you connect a custom domain, these pages will load on your custom domain. See, it says share.davidcalafiore.com rather than Sendpush. So they're white labeled for you. Any questions on the share page stuff, Drew?
I think Elias was asking about the QR code bypassing the share page. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's the QR code I showed you can download is the same QR code that is on the share page.
Yep.
So if you wanted to make your own sign that you're, hanging up in a store or something, you would use this QR code
Right. So
that you
so
can.
this QR code is separate than the past QR code.
Yeah,
Is what
one
I
has
guess.
nothing to do with the other. One has nothing to do with the other. Yep.
Yeah, the share page is very neat. It's simple. It does the job. Like it's designed to be that way. Like there's no browsing, there's no colors, there's no mystical, unicorns in the background. It's like really dead simple. Scan this or tap one or the other. Like
Yeah.
depending on where they're seeing the share page, if they're seeing it online, there's no way to download the pass when you're on a laptop or a desktop, right?
This
So
is
of course you need to.
100%. It's all mobile. It's mobile. It's all mobile. So, and Drew's right. Like this is, it's designed this way on purpose. Nothing happens until that pass gets installed. So our only objective here is for someone to either tap the Apple Wallet button or the Google Wallet button. That's it.
Yeah, Dara was asking, is there a way to show us as agencies or consultants how to create a demo pass? Well, you've already created one, Dara. So that is the demo. Like
Yeah.
you just create one. It takes what, 5-10 minutes to even create a beautiful looking one. That is your demo.
Yep.
Like the very best way to demo this at a local business is maybe using one of those strategies and saying, hey man, one really cool way to be able to communicate with people. What if you had a VIP pass that once you build a list of people, you can just send one message and it hits everybody on your list. Everybody gets that. There's no magic in it whatsoever, other than that. If you need
Hmm.
a clever way to get through the front door, you can set a geo fence notification. And, if you're an iPhone user, boom, it pops up in your phone. Hey, I just got this notification. Like you're literally inviting yourself into the business, right? Does everybody get that? Like the whole concept. And yes, it's not available for Android just yet. They're doing that's it's out of our control. That's what Google's doing. Does that mean that the platform is unusable? No, it's
Yeah.
not, because you can download passes to Android devices. You can send push notifications. You can set up geofence notifications, lock screen notifications for iPhones right now. And once Google opens it up, it's going to work on Android as well.
Yeah.
So the way that I do it is I set up a geofence notification at Sal's Pizza or wherever I'm going to Target. Hey, I just got this crazy thing. I'm like, what is this thing? Right. And it's literally the logo, the design, the colors of the business that I'm walking into. When I show them, they're just as confused as I appear to be. And then it gives me an opportunity to tell them how cool it is and how
Hmm.
they can start to leverage it and what the frickin' thing actually does. Right.
We'll get it.
That's the
We'll
way
get
that
into
I do it.
that deeper tomorrow.
Yep.
That's kind of our game plan for tomorrow. So that's the share page. It's pretty straightforward. If you want to grab that link for it, just click here. Boom, it's copied to your clipboard, and now you got that link, and you can go and take a look at it or use it and paste it somewhere, whatever you need to do. So those are passes. Pretty straightforward. Um, Notifications. So once you get people installing your pass, you can now send them push notifications, right? Um, just click new notification, give it a name, select which pass you want that notification to be sent to, meaning the people who have this particular pass installed would be getting this message. Okay. So select the pass it's tied to. This is the message that would be sent. Okay. And then notification type, you can send immediately or schedule. As I said before, we're currently, right now, we're working on the scheduling feature. If I could ask you maybe not to use that feature for the next day or two, as you might experience some bugs, I'd appreciate it. We'll have it worked out very soon. So if we just choose immediately, hit next. Now, the next step here is you can optionally, now this is an option, you can update the design or change the design of the pass temporarily. So if we toggle this on, maybe this push notification is for a short-lived little promotion that you want to run for the business, right? Maybe for lunch today, there's half off pizza slices at Sal's Pizza. So you can say, hey, I want to change this pass temporarily, and I want it to return to its original state at today at 3:58 p.m. Now you can go and you can change the banner. The banner could say buy one get one, half off pizza slices. You can change the barcode link, the QR code link. You can change the content fields, the text fields on the back of the pass, all the stuff. And at the time that you designate, the pass will revert back to its original state. It's not needed for all use cases. There will be use cases for stuff like this, but the option and flexibility is here. Okay. So we'll turn that off for now. And then you just kind of get to the end here, hit next. If you've scheduled it, it will say schedule the notification. If you're sending immediately, it will just say send. And I'm not going to send this because there's a bunch of people who've downloaded this particular pass, and I'm not looking to bother them right now. But you just hit send, and that push notification goes out. Pretty straightforward overall. Again, the scheduling stuff in terms of changing the pass is not mandatory. It's not always needed. But again, that flexibility and option is there for you to do stuff like that. Okay. Moving on. Locations, geofence stuff, right? Again, only currently working with iOS. Google has disabled this feature from their wallet for now. From what we're told, Google's working on updating their wallet app with an all new app coming soon. Once that happens, geolocation notifications should work again. This is not unique to us. This is unique to any other platform with wallet passes. Geolocation stuff does not working with Android, only iOS. But Drew, there's a lot of iPhones out there. There's a
There's a ton.
lot of
There's a
iPhones.
ton.
Yeah.
There's a ton. And as soon as we know, you'll know. All
Yeah.
right. I mean, we want this desperately to work across everything, but we're only limited to what Google allows us to do within their app, right?
Hmm.
So this is tied into their app, and unless they allow geo notifications and open up that API, we can't really do anything about that just yet.
Yep.
So trust us. As soon as it's available for us, it's going to be available for you, and we will we'll have a party. All right, you guys are all invited to when that party's opened up. We'll have a kegger. We'll do all the cool stuff, right? Even from our friends across the pond, you're more than welcome to come and hang out on the East Coast.
Yep. Um, all right. So you're allowed up to 10 locations per pass. Again, we didn't set that. Apple sets those rules. You can set up to 10 geo alert notifications per pass. All right. To create a new one, click add location, give it a name, select the pass that it's going to be attached to. Okay. The message that's going to show, and then a address of the where you want it to actually show. And there you go. Currently, it's about what 200 to 300 meters, Drew, I believe.
Yeah, it's somewhere in between. It's like not. I would just get on the safe side. I would say 200 meters, which is about point 0.2 of a mile, if you will. Point 2 to point 0.3 of a mile is what we're
Hmm.
guesstimating, which is
Yeah.
pretty significant for a geofence.
Now we are already working on trying to figure out how we can adjust the radius. That's something that we're working on, and obviously we'll let you know if we can figure that out. But because that would be great to maybe narrow it or widen it a little bit, and we're working on that already. But basically, um, name, select the pass, put the notification message in, and then the address, and then just hit enable, and boom. Um, there you go. You can always come back in and edit these too if you want, or there's a toggle switch to toggle them on and off. Maybe you'd want to turn one on during, a part of the day and have it off during the other part of the day, whatever it happens to be. But you can toggle those on and off. I saw a question in there about scheduling these. There's no scheduling for these as of yet, but that's something we can definitely consider for the future. Um, and those are geo notification alerts. Depending on there's some variance here in terms of how quickly these show up, how quickly they disappear when you leave a location. There's a lot of things that are out of our control about different mobile devices, how the settings on those mobile devices. Um, but usually, if you're in a location and you're outside and the device that you have has a good eye to, line to the sky and satellites and GPS, they take about 30 seconds to 60 seconds or so to show up in most cases. If you're inside and maybe your phone's not getting a clean GPS signal, it may take a little bit longer, but usually right around there. So those are location-based notification alerts. Analytics. We currently have, some basic analytics. I think where we're probably going to go with this is you'll be able to filter via each pass. Again, also remember that the analytics are unique to the workspace. So if you have a different workspace, these analytics will not mix with the analytics from another workspace. They're separate. So total passes, total active passes for the workspace, total number of push notifications sent, URL clicks, total notifications sent, and then it will also track if people are actually clicking on and engaging with the links or URLs on the back of your pass. So that is analytics, pretty simple and straightforward. And then lastly, Drew, let's talk about sharing your workspace. Let's first talk about, you know, how this can go. You're going to have clients who don't want to deal with any of this, right? There's clients out there, they're busy, they're paying you for a service. Um, they don't want to deal with sending notifications. They might want to have you do that for them. I would charge accordingly for services like that, right? Drew, you had a good example on the webinar. Like, hey, do you want some bar or restaurant like messaging you or emailing you at like, midnight to send a notification out that they're, open still, or, stuff like that. So consider those things and charge accordingly. Any thoughts on that, Drew?
Yeah. There was a question from Dara that was talking about it's specifically along the lines of making this a sticky service for yourself. Um, so it's the same thing. Like your idea here is, do you want to be simple? Do you want to be hands off, or do you want to work more? It's entirely up to you. But from the workspace aspect, you don't want to be up at 1 o'clock in the morning or 1:30 in the morning waiting for a client like a bar or a restaurant to say, "Hey, can you send out a push notification to let all these people know that we're closing in a half hour or last call?" Right? Who wants to stay up and do that kind of work? Nobody. So a workspace might make sense to allow them to do something or not to do something. Um, the question is, how do we let clients do this themselves? Well, you give them workspace access to allow them to send the push notification, right? And charge accordingly because it's a very valuable service. Case in point, when you have a client that's trying to reach their customers to let them know about something last minute, you can't go one by one and tell everybody inside your bar, your restaurant, your comedy club, et cetera, ahead of time. Like, let's say an act or a performer, a comedian, a band cancels, or maybe you've got inclement weather. They just might want to, like, do you want, what if you're, having, you're out at lunch, or you're at a dinner, or you're at a kid's game, or you're at a funeral or something. Like, the last thing you want to do is be tied to having to send a push notification on behalf of somebody. That's what this is for,
Yeah.
right? Like, that's really what this is designed to do, and it should be valuable. It also ties into it being sticky as you start to build that list. Imagine having a list of 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, 1 million people that you need to communicate with, right? Like, how are you going to do that if people are not paying attention to stuff? If you build the list, you own them, right? Like, I'm not saying you own them, but they could easily just cancel the service. But why would they? They have an
Hmm.
asset where they can just directly reach the list that you've worked hard to build together. That's where this becomes sticky. We'll talk about that tomorrow too.
Yep. All right. So in those instances where you want to give access to the business to manage their own notifications, we've got a way for you to do that. So down here, click on your name, and then you're going to click on Share Workspace. Now, by default, this is going to be turned off. Okay. It'll look like this. You'll toggle it on, and let me show you how this works. So what you're going to do is this URL would be sent to your client or customer. All right. They'll click on it, and then they're going to have to verify their email address and use a password in order to get access into the share portal. Okay. So you're going to set a password here. Okay. You can make it whatever you want. We can also generate you a secure one here by clicking that. All right. You're going to give this password to your customer or client. Okay. You can add a logo. It could be your logo. You can make your client feel special and put their logo, which is always a good idea, because each one of these um, workspaces, the share workspace function is separate from another workspace. So if you set a client up with their own workspace and you want to share it with them, you can put their logo in there and it will be unique to them. Okay. And then you want to put a from name. You'd want to probably put the name of your business, your agency, or whatever your service is called here. What we do is when the client goes to log into that portal, we're going to send them a verification email. And that verification email will say from your business, your agency, your service, whatever you want to call it. Okay. So go through all that, save it. You want to grab the URL here, copy that, save. I'm going to log out. Okay. I'm going to put this in. And this is kind of what it looks like. Okay. So they're going to put their email address in. They're going to put in the password that you gave them, that you set. They're going to hit access workspace. Whoops. There we go. Now they're going to get an email. Crap. Do I need to show the email, Drew? I'll have
No,
to stop.
I think
I'll have to
everybody
stop
gets that.
sharing. Basically, they're going to. Let me just grab the. They're going to get an email with a verification code. You just grab that. Let me just put a different. Hang on.
That's all right. Yeah,
I put an
it's
email
always good.
address. I put an email address and I don't have access to on this computer. Hang on.
That's the super secret,
Yeah. Let me just.
backdoor password. Somebody asked, can the client automatically get a password reset if they lose or forget the password, or do I
Yeah.
have to do it for them?
They can do like I just messed up, right? They can just load the page again and add the email address again. It'll send another verification code. So what happens is they get an email with a verification code. That email is gray labeled, meaning it has a domain attached to it called what do we call that domain? It's a
Passportal.
verify. It comes from an email address called verify@passportal.co. There's nothing there. It's not attached to anything. There's no website. It's nothing. It's just like kind of a gray label generic domain. So they're not knowing that you're using Sendpush, right? Um, Hit verify, and boom, now they're logged into the portal where they can send notifications, they can set geo alerts, and then they can view analytics. What they can't do is mess up or delete anything. So if you've been working with them for a year and they've got a pass with 2,000 people, 2,000 installs, no numbskull can come in here and like delete it by accident. Um, so this is where we are right now with the portal. I'm sure over time we'll be adding features here, different things that can be done. But right now it's pretty streamlined and straightforward. Like what I would do is literally just make like a quick Loom video, maybe a generic one that you can send to any business, and it would show them, how to use this. Where if they just watch a 5-minute video, they'll totally understand what to do, and it's pretty simple and straightforward. And that is how you can give access to a client to be able to manage their own notifications and geo alerts, Drew.
Yep.
And that's it. That's the platform. That's it.
Well, there you have it, guys. Some rudimentary type of questions are coming in. Somebody was asking, I think you just covered this. Will the URL match our custom domain? Looks great, guys.
Yes.
Yeah. So go
Yep.
ahead.
Yeah. If you connect your custom domain, that URL, as you can, I stopped sharing my screen, but that share page, that share portal page is on my domain, right? So if you connect your custom domain, it would use your custom domain.
BJ was asking, does push notifications work on Google and Android, or the passes just getting the updates inside the wallet? So BJ, we're working on that in the background right now. We're making, as I mentioned earlier in this call, you may see a little bit of bugginess for the next day or so. We're working on geo stuff. We're working on optimizing the platform in general. So there may be a little bit of hiccup temporarily with push notifications on Android and Google, but we're optimizing things in the background just to make it that much
Mm-hmm.
more tighter. Just give us a little bit of time, day, or maybe today, maybe tomorrow. A lot of these hiccups and things of that nature that are just being optimized in the database in the background. I mean, it is very sophisticated in the background. There's like, imagine multiple layers of databases involved, workspaces and passes and custom domains and all that kind of stuff. There's some logic that needs to go involved in this. So in the duplication of passes and all kinds of stuff, there's some things, of course, we're admitting to the point that um, there's some things that we did not anticipate that we are optimizing for to correct so it works for scalability down the road, right? You guys are just getting started with this and we're noticing some things and we're already on top of that kind of stuff. So keep on reporting some of that stuff to the support desk that, if you're experiencing some things that we didn't expect, um, we will respond to you and say, we're aware of it. We're working on it. Should be pushed. Earlier in the week, we made some updates that were really quick, right? And some of these things are easy things, and some of them just require a little bit more coding to address. We're addressing that. Trust us. We're on top of it. We're working on it. We'll make announcements within
Yep.
the school group once it's ready to go.
Somebody asked about, if you created a pass in a workspace, can you move it to another workspace? And the answer is yes. So you just click here on the ellipses, and then you could say move to workspace, select a workspace, and you can move that pass to a different workspace. Yep.
There you are. All right, guys. Any other last minute questions? Tomorrow we'll go a little bit more metaphysical, meta, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be talking, not meta, but we're going to be talking about some um, plausible and just straightforward, simple sales and prospecting. We'll kind of review that guide that you guys all have access to. We'll go deeper into that a little
Yep.
bit. And just a very straightforward, no nonsense, like this is how you should go out there and approach businesses. Simple sales tactic.
we keep getting this question over and over and over again. Geo alert notifications do not count as push notifications or towards your limit. They do not. They're just two separate things.
Can everybody give us a number one in chat if you understand that? Geo notifications, maybe, repeat this to yourself or write it on the chalkboard like Bart Simpson does. Geo notifications do not count against your push notification. Okay, lots of ones coming in.
Good.
A lot of Bart Simpsons in the room. All right, I will add that as a
Yep.
graphic inside of the school group. Geo notifications do not count against your push notification counts.
Art's asking, where do I access my bonuses? You might have come in late, Art, because we went over this, but if you click here on Help and Learn from your dashboard, it takes you to the Learning Portal. And then if you go to the Training Center, these are bonuses here, things. And then as we start to actually go through and do these trainings, for example, the one that you're on right now, the replay will be added here and it'll become unlocked. When we do the community lock screen takeover training, that those replays and stuff will go here. Same with Chamber Secrets. So that stuff is accessible here.
Okay. With regards to the geofence as well, that is there by design, right? Once you get to the campus, once you get to the address of wherever you preset the geo notification, wherever you got up to 10 of these, which can be a very powerful marketing mechanism for you to like set against your competitor and all that kind of stuff, right? It's designed to stay on the lock screen until they leave the geofence notification. And it's designed to be sticky as heck, right? And almost annoying. But it's not annoying because they can still function. They can still swipe up and get into their apps and all that other kind of stuff until they leave. Intuitively, everybody starts to get, oh, I get this. When I leave this area, this isn't there. Guys, you can always toggle the damn thing off if it's annoying your customers. You don't need to delete it. Just toggle it off and the thing will disappear. All right. Does everybody get that? Give me number 2 in chat if you understand.
Yep.
We're not designing this to piss off your customers and clients. We're just not. But it's super duper effective to stay on that lock screen and give them a gentle reminder about whatever your message is. It's you guys are the marketers. All right. Let's get really frank.
Who's ever had like an airline ticket in their mobile wallet or like an event ticket? Now, what happens is when I check in at home the day before or whatever for my flight, and I add the flight ticket to my mobile wallet. When I get to the airport or near the airport, on my lock screen says, United Airlines flight, blah, blah, blah. And it's showing there. It's the same sort of thing. While I'm at the airport, ready to board my flight, that wallet pass lock screen notification stays on my phone. The only way you'd be able to get rid of it is to actually remove the pass, right? So that's how that works. Now, Venkat's asking, or who was that? Venkat had a question about Venkat. If you had 1,000 people who were in the location, if you had 1,000 people with the pass installed on their phone and they were all within the location that you set for the geofence, then yeah, it would all show on their phones. But they would all have to be in that same location, right? It's only going to show on a iOS device, first of all, right now, of a person who's within that geofence location, right? And they have to have the pass installed. This is not a spam machine. There's no magic here to it. Like if the pass is not installed on their phone, you can't just magically make it, that geo alert magically appear on their mobile device.
That's a push. That's a push notification, right? You're sending a push. So if Tim is visiting the U.S., right, and he has a pass on his mobile device, and I send a push notification, I'm going to reach him in the U.S. If he goes back to England, or he decides to go to Germany, or if he decides to go to Mexico, or if he decides to go to Hawaii, if he decides to go to Canada, he is going to receive the push notification. Right. That's like a text message being sent, but it's not a text message. It's a different type of messaging protocol and platform. Do you understand the difference between geo and push? Push goes to everybody that's in the pass. Geo is one specific geo location. It's an invisible fence that nobody sees. It's this magical, mystical land that you get to create, and
Yep.
nobody sees it until they look at their freaking phone.
Yep.
That's the difference.
Um, so Venkat's asking about the Venkat. It doesn't really expire. The only way to expire it is to turn it off within your Sendpush dashboard. There's a toggle. You could turn it off, or you could delete the geofence, right? But when a person has entered that geofence and the
There you
alert
go.
shows on their phone, it's going to be persistent until they leave that area. Once they leave the area, the notification or the lock screen notification on their phone will go away.
Mark is asking, does each pass in the workspace have different list or of recipients, or do all in the workspace receive the message? It's
Nope.
per pass.
Per pass. Yep. It's per
They have to
pass.
install an individual pass. So let's say you've got a workspace and you've got pass A and pass B. They have to individually download pass A and pass B to receive the push notifications that you're sending to that particular pass. And we clearly show that inside the push notification
Yep.
area. You have to write your message and then select the pass that you're going to be sending it to. If
Yep.
you've given workspace access to the business, they would have to select the pass that they want to send it to. So if you've got one for VIP club for massage therapy and one for VIP pizza company, they're not going to receive the same push notification. It's per pass.
Yep. Elias is asking if there are two businesses next to each other um, that have geo notifications, only one will pop up. That is correct. Um, but it's again, there's a radius, right? So we can't like pinpoint only when you're standing directly in front of the business. There's a 200 to 300 meter radius that we can set. As I said before, we're working on trying to be able to decrease or increase the radius, but we haven't figured that out yet. That's something we're kind of working on in the background to see if we can actually make that happen. What happens if a customer lives within the geofence? Yeah, if they live within the geofenced area, the notification is going to pop up.
Yeah, David screws with me every day. He's always sending,
I do.
certain push notifications to my phone. He's like, get up, you little bitch, right? Those kinds of, he's just messing with me, testing the platform, but at the same time motivating me to make sure that I get up and, work out, do all the things that I'm supposed to be doing for the day. You can have fun with each other in that type of way. I call it David's daily devotionals, like the triple D. His dailies. Dave's daily devotionals is to uh, get me motivated in some kind of way. But yeah, like that's what the whole geofence thing is about. And as evidenced by one of the pastors at the church, he said, I can't get this thing off my phone. I say, yeah, it's there by design. So like when somebody gets to the campus of the church, they can say something like, come in, and witness, or come in and for a hot cup of coffee, come and nourish yourself, come and learn, that sort of thing. Just an invitational type of message once they get to the campus. You can use it for like come in for 20% off, or come in
Yeah.
for show this pass when you like. That is the red velvet
Yep.
rope approach. Like, hey, if you got this VIP pass, you're invited to come in and show us your pass.
Hey, Bob, I'm not sure on that, to be honest. Possibly, but I'm not sure. There's a lot of little things that are, again, we're really tied into what Google and Apple allow. Um, so it's possible. That's something that we can definitely look into. I'm open to it if it's possible.
Yeah. Any burning last minute questions? Because David and I have to get going shortly. We've got a special call lined up in a little bit,
Yeah.
but
Okay. Let me just. People will not receive a geofenced notification unless they have the pass installed. People ask that over and over and over again. It's permission based. It's not like we can just. These are not beacons. They have to have the pass installed in order to receive the geofenced alert. Richard, as soon as we get to it, sometime today, it'll be added into the training portal.
Yeah, this is not designed to be a spam tool. And that's kind of why, Apple and Google limit the number of push notifications out there because marketers ruin stuff. And
Yep.
that's why the text messaging industry is being bombarded with issues. This is an opt in process and they can easily opt out. They can just toggle it off and get rid of their notifications. And by the way, you don't have control over that. We don't have control over that. Your customer and those that download the pass have 100% control over it. And that's why this is going to work, right? Because if you're cool about it, you don't spam people with bullshit messages, right? That's why this is going to work. If you create value in the pass, the very important pass, that's what this is. VIP, very important pass. This is your one shot to be cool with people and not take advantage of them. If you are offering real, true value, that's your job. That's all of your job is to create value in this pass. We are
Yep.
giving you the mechanism to do so. It's your job to help that business create the value. Everybody get that. Give me a number 7 in chat if you understand this. I know this is going to be a hard concept for a lot of people. We've gotten you 99% of the way there. You should be killing it with this platform. Killing it.
Yep.
Just show
So
people this thing. They're going to instantly get it.
that's it. Like I've never had an easier time demoing software than this. It's quick, it's straightforward, it's simple to show to people in terms of like what I just showed you inside of Sendpush. The tech itself, the setup is all pretty straightforward and simple. Like this is not meant for you to be inside the Sendpush dashboard all day tinkering around. Like that would be a total waste of your time. The juice here is for you guys to go out and work as consultants with these businesses and help set up strategies and ideas for them to grow their asset. The more people a business has that adds their pass to their customers' mobile phones, the least likely it is that small business is going to leave you. Does everybody get that? Like if a business works with you for 6 months and they've added 1,000 passes to their customers' phones. And now, whenever they want, they can send a push notification to let people know what's going on at their business. Are they going to just say, I don't want that anymore? It's not about the tech here. It's about you working with the business to grow that asset. Because once that happens, you've got a customer for a long time, most likely. I really want to get that point across. This is not about the tech so much. This is about you working with the business to help them grow the asset. I know a lot of people like to sit behind their computers and play with the software and tinker forever, but that's not going to help you make money. Any last minute questions? It's gotten quiet, Drew.
Question: can I set a limit on how many notifications the customer can send per day, per month? Yes, it's 3.
It's
3 per day.
automatically set. Yeah, it's set by Google and Apple. So they can send 3 notifications per day per pass.
No, not currently. Venkat. I mean, if they're sending 3 per day, that's like over 90 per month. And we are like pro users at this and we're not using that volume. It's unlikely that they're going to, but if they do, like you're building value and you should charge accordingly. Like you're giving them a direct line of that is the value. It's worth every single penny that you charge. And you should be charging. We recommended $14.99. Like
Yeah,
I'm
3 a day is a
finding
lot.
it's a lot.
We probably will add a feature where you can, dictate what a share portal will allow a client to send at some point. But right now, it's already restricted by Google and Apple. So 3 per day per pass. Connie, all Drew and I can tell you is like what we're charging our clients. We're charging $1,499 per year.
Its average is $125 per month, Connie. That is
Yep.
friggin' cheap. It's cheap. It's undervalued. And yes, like if you guys do the math here, you're and I'm not taking exception. I'm not trying to point you out, but I know we've received this message very similar. I'm only getting 20 workspaces. Guys, 20 workspaces at $14.99. Do you realize? Do you realize that's at over 2,000%
Yep.
ROI on your
Sell one
investment?
workspace that pays for your investment in Sendpush for the year. The rest, the other 19 are all profit. At that point, we would ask you to stack another plan at that grandfathered price, and you could add another 20 workspaces to your account.
You can charge whatever you want. You can charge $5,000 a month if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. But with that baked in inside, it motivates you. Like if you're charging for a workspace at $1,499, you're at break even on your first
Yep.
one. It's $125 a month. I'm not sure who you're prospecting. I'm not saying you, Connie. I'm saying in general, anybody. If you're doing business with a business, right, and they can't afford $125 a month, you might want to think about going to somebody who can afford your service. Stop selling to broke people. All right. And get over yourselves. Get over yourselves. It's an excuse. These businesses can afford $125 a month. The value that you're delivering is beyond $125. Like, what's the average? Like, I went out to dinner with my wife and my two daughters. It was nearly $200 for dinner. Just $200 for one dinner. It's ridiculous. And we didn't order like something extravagant. We're talking about, chicken fingers, fries, and a handful of drinks, right? We're not talking about steak and filet mignon and 14 course meal. This is average type of food, average type of stuff. And a couple of friends with this, whatever. It was a good time. I'm not complaining about it, but in all things, like you're giving them the ability to communicate at mass to their entire, space. Like we have one client that has 35,000 people on their email list. Another one has 50,000 people on their email list, and they're not even emailing them. What are they doing? What are they doing? So get over yourselves, charge what it's worth, right? Charge it. Like, if you need to get a couple of beta plans out there, whatever, use one and create a case study for yourself and like really truly help them do the freaking work and then create the value for yourself and realize that this is exactly what they're looking to do. And when COVID or something like that comes along down the line and the entire world is shut down again, they'll still be able to communicate with people and not have to rely on Facebook and other channels that throttle their message down. This is a direct line of communication to people. And yes, maybe it's a little bit buggy at the time. We're just launching. It was literally 2 weeks old, right? And once this is dialed in and you know that we're dialing stuff in behind the scenes and optimizing stuff, it will work on Android. It will work on Google, the geofences, all the little things that you guys are whining. I'm not saying that you guys are whining. I'm just saying that you're noticing stuff, whatever. But, whining about. I'm whining about it too. We want everything to be working perfectly. But once you get out there, it's 125 bucks. It's $125. And if in exchange for your low investment, right? In my opinion, it's a low price, $14.99. Well, look, you guys, we're stripping away things that we're offering in bonuses. The value that you're getting for this in exchange for 20 workspaces. If you fill 20 workspaces and sell $14.99, come back to me and complain that we're charging you $14.99 again. I dare you. I dare you. If that's you and you come back and you complain that $14.99 is really expensive and you just made a 2,000 to 3,000% return on your investment, please call me individually. My number is 484-797-4545.
You've got him so flustered he can't remember his phone
I
number.
can't remember
Jeez.
my cell phone number. Charge what you're worth, damn it. Right?
Yeah.
Stop, get over yourselves, go out there and charge what it's worth for the workspace. You got something that's really simplistic. Businesses get it. They understand it. They're going to love it. Go out there and make it. And if they say no, screw them. Go to their competitor and show it up. Show them up a little bit. Like take offense to it and go and, steal their competitors. Like go out to their competitors and start to offer that to them. Like, Con, you got me all flustered. I love you, but come on, believe in yourself. Go out there and sell something.
Venkat's asking how can I track how many notifications? Just go right to the notification page within the workspace, and it'll tell you. So, all right, Drew, we gotta go.
We got Jack, guys. We'll talk to you
Yeah.
guys soon. We'll actually tomorrow jump back on. I think same bat channel, same bat
12
place.
noon tomorrow. It's an hour later tomorrow. But
Yeah.
yeah. All right.
Okay, guys.
Everybody
Enjoy the
take
day.
care. We'll get this added. This video replay will be added into the learning portal under the Sendpush Agency Bootcamp course under Training Center. All right. We'll talk to everybody tomorrow.
See you.